And ultimately, this is Acts 2:24, New International Version. But God raised him from the dead, freeing him from the agony of death, because it was impossible for death to keep its hold on him. All your cutesy little art stuff usually shortens that to "death could not hold him." You'll see that on that shortened version on a sign in your mom's wall or something. But it's incredible. A lot of people say, they'll be like, "Oh, I choose to believe," but I don't think certain things literally happened, like how I mentioned the bleeding or sweating blood before, and some people are like, "Well, he didn't actually rise from the dead. It's just a metaphor." But and a lot of people say, "Well, if something miraculous like that would happen, there'd be proof." And there is an incredible amount of proof of it actually happening. If you look at the Shroud of Turin, it is just insane how scientists think that was created. Mostly because they don't know what created it. They don't understand what method was used to create it. They were, in the 80s, there was they did some carbon dating on it that said it was a medieval forgery. And it turns out that was from a patch that was put on there in the medieval times, to make a patch from a fire where parts of it had been burned. But even them who said it was a forgery didn't give an explanation of how it was created. There's no pigment from like dye or paint. Scientists most recently, I can't remember exact details, but they were like, they said an incredible amount of light energy had to be expended within a microsecond for this image to be laid on this piece of linen. And they did some electron x-rays, something that does date it back to the 1st century. And there's pollen from certain trees that are native to the Middle East around that time. I saw something yesterday saying that there was traces of limestone rock that is from Israel on certain parts. But obviously, if you want a more in-depth version, look at the Shroud of Turin, there's a bunch of videos of it on YouTube. You can really go down a rabbit hole on that one. One video I definitely recommend that I watched yesterday is Michael Knowles put out a video with Jeremiah Johnston. And he brought a copy of the Shroud of Turin, and the headcloth has a separate name that I don't remember right now. And he also brought replicas of the nails that were used on the crucifixion and the crown, which growing up in all the imagery of Jesus, it's just like a little headband, but it was actually like this helmet. And when you actually see the thorns, they recreated it from, I think it's called Jerusalem thorns or Bethlehem thorns. One of those two. But, it's not from your, like, rose bush or what you walk in out in the country. These are some long thorns. I could not imagine having that pressed onto your head. It was just incredible looking at it. But definitely check that out. But anyway, I'll wrap this up. later on, I'm gonna watch Passion of the Christ. I haven't seen it as an adult that I remember anyway. I remember seeing it as a little kid. I remember bits and pieces, but yeah, I want to see what it's like as an adult and truly take it in. Um, Especially since they're getting ready to do the part two resurrection of the Christ. Um, if you haven't seen it, Mel Gibson talked about what it's going to be about, really, on Joe Rogan a couple months ago. It was an awesome conversation, so go check it out. But anyway, I would encourage you to just do something in your own way to think about what he endured and what it means to you. Um, and I'll just close with this. It's easy to feel lost in today's world and culture. I feel like I'm lost all the time. It's easy to not understand what your purpose is. And anyway, the scripture that always helps me feel some comfort is Jeremiah 29:11 through 14, which says, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans for your well-being, not for disaster, to give you a future and a hope. You will call to me and come and pray to me, and I will listen to you. You will seek me and find me when you search for me with all your heart. I will be found by you." So take some time today. Seek God. Open your heart and let him in. And however, in whatever way that is for you. All right, that's all I got. I hope y'all have a great day. Happy Easter.